Hey beautifuls, how are we all doing today? How is our day? So today we're making this beautiful skirt we are seeing rolling on the screen. Okay, we'll be adding this band, the beautiful band that you are seeing on it. Okay, it's not every band that is a band though. We the females, we have how we cut our own band. So three things is what you are going to learn from this video today. First is how to cut this feminine band, okay, to make it lap like this on your sexy waist. Okay, second is how to make your dart invisible, how to eliminate your dart from your skirt block. Okay, so if this looks like what you want to learn, stick right to this end of this video and you'll be glad you did. Let's go right into this video. Today I want to talk about how to plot your basic skirts without that showing on it. Now this method can also apply for our trousers. Okay, how to place your dart so that it does not show at all, and that is what you see happening in this skirt you see on the screen. There is no dart, very neat. Okay, but please be rest assured that you have to invest in pattern paper for this particular style. Okay, this is not the kind of style you just put on your material and start using chalk to mark on the material. No, you have to plan this skirt. Okay, so that's what we are going to be discussing here. Then secondly, I'm going to show you how to draft your skirt pattern so that the markings on the hip will not be that sharp. Whatever is applicable to this front that I'm going to be using now is also applicable to the back of your skirt. Now for the trousers, the same way we are going to be eliminating this dart on this skirt pattern, that is the way you also have to eliminate that on your trouser pattern. Okay, so let's go right into it. And now I'm going to be drafting out my skirt block. Okay, so this is my border line. Okay, this is my border line, which also serves as my hip waistline. Now this is my hip line, and then this is my hem area. Okay, this is my hem area. So now I want to be marking, I want to assume this is a mini skirt block, right? It's not the normal block. You can see the kind of measurement I'm using. This is, so we don't want to be, this is our beginners class, so we don't want to be wasting time on any of the technicalities. Now the master class, which is just like 2 months away, is where we are going to be spending hours on a particular style. So we pick any celebrity style and we are going to discuss it properly. That one can lead you to 1 hour, 2 hours classes. Okay, so most of this my master class trainings, that's what people pay for, but it's going to be totally free. All you need is subscribe, so when it gets to that time you'll be notified. So now I'm going to be placing my marking. Now for you not to get sharp marking on this hip area, okay, you will go up on your hip area by 2 inches. Let's assume that this is your hip divided by 4 plus sewing allowance got to this point. Okay, so here you will go up by 2 inches and you will come down by 2 inches. So whatever you are marking from this waist that is going to connect is going to connect this way. Okay, for example, this is my waist divided by 4 plus sewing inches, so we are going to be marking this way. You end it there. Now coming to your hemline, remember that whatever you get here, remove 1 inch. That is what makes your hem measurement. Okay, and then -1. This is where you mark your 1. Okay, and then you connect nicely this way. Okay, so you find out that whatsoever you are doing here, okay, whatsoever you are doing here will not now be sharp anymore. Okay, you just connect this way. So this way your skirt becomes very neat. Okay, now this is where you are supposed to put your dart, right? This is where you are supposed to put your dart, that leg, which is on your bust span. You'll be marking out your bust span here, which is where you are supposed to, this is where you are supposed to be marking your dart, right? And our dart is 1 inch. Now look at the thing. Now after you have measured, do not mark here. Okay, do not put your dart here. Now you measure that 3 inches you are supposed to. Your dart leg for the front is 3 inches, for the back is 5 inches. Now you measure that 3 inches here. Let's assume that this is where that 3 inches ended. Okay, let's assume that this is where that 3 inches ended, right? Because this my measurement is small. So let's assume that this is where that 3 inches ended. You will mark 1 inch into this side on the waistline. Okay, and let's assume that this is my 1 inch. Now you will, so let's assume that this is where my 1 inch is. Okay, and this is 3 inches, which is the where the dart leg is supposed to end. Now what I'm going to do is to connect like so. Okay, you connect it like so. Now you are going to shape it out, make it look nicer. Okay, this is exactly, your dart has been eliminated this way. Instead of bringing that dart here, you don't put it here anymore. Okay, normally you are supposed to put it on your bust span, then come down by 3. Your dart leg is supposed to come down this way by 3 inches. Okay, it's supposed to come down this way by 3 inches. Okay, no, you will not come down again by 3 inches here. You will take that 3 inches to this place. Now from here to here is 3 inches, right? From here to here is 3 inches. You mark it. Now you are supposed to come in by 1 inch. That is ½ inch by this side, ½ inch by this side. What you now do is you take it to the side. Remember that when you were marking your waistline, okay, you marked waistline divided by 4. It gave you the answer. Plus 2 inches sewing allowance. It gave you the answer. Plus this 1 inch you were supposed to use here. It gave you the answer. Now you go to this same place now. That 1 inch you were supposed to remove here, remove it from here totally. And that is, you mark it. I've already marked it. Then you take it down to that 3 inches. Okay, but while taking it down to the 3 inches, you will now use your hip curve to make that place smooth. On a normal skirt pattern, you will see how smooth it will stand. The same thing on the back pattern. Now on the back pattern, that leg is supposed to be 5 inches, and we are supposed to be removing half here, half here. Okay, now instead of marking 3, because this 3 is for the front, when you now get to the back, you mark 5 inches. Okay, when you mark 5 inches here, you now remove that 1 inch, and that leg of that your 1 inch will end on that 5 inch. Then you curve it out nicely. Okay, so now I'm going to be cutting it out. Remember that I said 2 inches allowance is going to be here. Okay, or whatever inches that you are comfortable with, but I said 2 inches because in mini skirts, or if the person says it's too long, there's no problem, you can fold it back for the person. But if the person now said, oh, it's too short, I can't wear this, you see, if you did not put enough allowance here, you have condemned the cloth, or you start looking for style to add, okay, to make it longer. So on the average, just make it 2 inches so that 2 inches will be more than enough. No matter how you cut it, that is too short, 2 inches, it will be enough for you to open up. Okay, so now I'm not adding any sewing allowance here because I just don't want to waste time. Okay, so now I'm cutting out my skirt pattern. Guys, this is my skirt pattern. Okay, this is my skirt pattern. Now remember I said we are cutting out exactly that style on that video. As I was making the video, I didn't know that the video has ended, so I skipped a part. Now I want to go back to that part. Now I told you people I want to cut this. I'm cutting exactly this style that is on the screen. Yeah, so now if we want to cut out that design that is in front there, we want to cut out that style that is in front there, so we are going to be marking it here. If you look at that design, you see that the starting came very close to this, a little bit away from the bust dart. That's why I marked here. Then coming here, just slant it the way it was slanted, and then you cut out. Okay, you cut it out, and which I have done. Now you are going to place it, curve the edge of it this way. You can see it was curved. you curve your own nicely too, okay, and curve this one nicely too. You curve this side nicely too. Okay, so this is it now. So you place it on a another pattern paper, so that you can cut this one on fold. Okay, so you can cut this one on fold. This one has to be on fold, then 2 pieces of this one. So you fold your cardboard paper and place it and cut it, so that you can get exactly cut, so that you can get this one on fold. Okay, and this is what I did to get exactly this one. Then what I will advise, okay, so what I will advise is that you mark it out. You mark the back, so that you will know what you are doing. Okay, you can mark it out. You can mark, since this is the back, I can do 1. Since this is the back, okay, I can do 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I don't become confused. Then you cut it out. Okay, okay, so after you have marked it, you can see what you have. You can see what you have. Okay, your skirt is ready. Now when you are cutting, you will cut up to extra 1 inch here and extra 1 inch here, so that the 2 can lap this way. Okay, so that it can lap under. You can see, so that you can lap under, and then you apply your buttons here and here. But you can see that your skirt is ready. Okay, so when you are cutting out, you can place this one on another material if you want, so that you can get 2 different types of material and you cut out. So after you have finished cutting and on another material and joining, now on this particular design you have to invest in hemming gum here. Okay, when you cut out, you invest on hemming gum in this area. Okay, so that by the time you fold it in, okay, the stitches will not be showing around this area. The stitches are not supposed to show, so that it will be very neat. Now you go ahead and cut your band. Now in cutting the band, okay, in cutting the band, I want to teach us something. You do not cut band until after you have joined your materials. Okay, let me use the plain one to explain. Okay, I've cut it now. Okay, this is the initial skirt block, and we want to assume, okay, we want to assume that we are not doing that style on the screen. Okay, so this is the initial skirt block that we have. Okay, so I want to make the band. I am now saying that you do not cut the band before making this skirt block. Okay, the ideal thing to do is you cut the band after you have finished drafting your bodies. It is this waist that you are going to measure. Okay, is this, if you cut your band before making this one, you will have excess of material most times. So it's better to, even if you have the waist measurement, you have already put that here, you have already put the waist measurement, use this waist measurement that you have already used, because here it will show you exactly what to cut. Okay, so now when cutting your band, you know that this skirt is on fold, so you will measure here. Okay, let's assume this is 3 inches, the waist is 3 inches, you will measure 3 inches. Now 3 inches times 4 is 12 inches. So this particular person's waist is 12 inches. Now you are going to be putting that 12 inches on fold, which is 6 inches. Okay, which is 6 inches this way, right? Now you do not cut you don't cut your band. You won't cut your band on straight. If you cut it straight, okay, the band will not lap on the person's waist. Always cut anything that has to do with curve, cut it on bias. Okay, your collar, cut on bias. Okay, and waistband for both trouser and a skirt, cut it on bias. Okay, so now I'll be folding. This is, if I want to fold this way, I'm folding straight, right? I'm not folding this way, so I am folding this way. Okay, I am folding this way. Okay, now I am folding this way. So you will place the tape in a way that you must definitely get the 6 inches like this. Okay, and as you are folding, measure it to be sure that you are getting it like this, right? Now that particular, I don't want to waste my cardboard sheet. Look at it. Very good. So I've placed on bias now. Okay, I've placed this on bias. That particular point where I got 6 inches, this is it. I'm going to be marking it. I mark it, right? Okay, now I will measure whatsoever I get here, and I got it around 7 inches. That 7 inches is what I'll keep measuring. You measure, you measure, you measure, you measure, you measure 7 inches, right? Okay, so now if I want my waistband to be 3 inches, that's fine. If I want it to be 2 inches, that's fine. Let's assume I want it to be 2 inches, so I will mark 2 inches here, 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 and 2 inches here. Okay, now you curve it out. And then you cut it out. Cutting out. Okay, now you can see, let's measure my waistband. This is 4. This is 8. And this is 12. Exactly 12 inches. Okay, so but when marking yours, mark it to be exactly something that you add on that 6 inches, add 3 inches, making it 9 inches. That way, because the way I cut mine now, okay, the way I cut mine now, you can see how the waistband is now. Do you see how it is? So it will make pencil at the tip here, and if you do not add extra to that length you are going to fold, if you do not add extra, when I was cutting it out this way. Now there's something I forgot to talk about. Okay, so as I'm marking that 6 inches, you know I placed this place on fold. I'm marking 6 inches. Please, while marking yours, add 3 inches extra. Okay, make it 9 inches instead of 6 inches, because when you finish cutting, this particular area, okay, will lap, but this place is going to short. It's only when you are cutting a bishop collar that you use exactly the 6 inches. Okay, but when you are making a band for your skirt or your trouser, add extra 3 inches or 4 inches to it so that it will be on excess. Okay, so you now find out that after you have finished joining your waistband, okay, after you have finished joining your waistband, this is what you should get. Do you see how beautiful it is? Okay, do you see how beautiful this band is? Okay, so guys, if you do not cut your band this way, it will end up not lapping. It will end up not curving out this way. Okay, so but if you cut it this way, you are going to exactly get something like this, and your band will sit beautifully on your waist. Anything short of this, your band will be looking very flat like a man's trouser. But for you to get a feminine band, this is what you are supposed to do. Okay, so guys, thank you for watching this video. You can practice it on your own, then cut it out on your material, and let me see how it looks like. Because of your data, I do not want to waste your data that much. I'll be ending this tutorial here. If you still need me to go ahead and cut it on a material, do tell me. But in our master class, this is what I'm going to be cutting out for them today. But you don't worry, when your master class comes, all this will be cut out fully for you to see. Thank you for watching. Love you loads. See you in the next video.